What is up, guys? It's Muhammad of the Sun Pirates TCG here, and I'm here with my GOAT, Colin Wong. Colin, why are you here today?
Yesterday, I played a treasure cup against my better knowledge because I only found out about it the night before, and I got first place somehow.
Congratulations to you. Well earned, well earned. So we can get into your deck profile. What did you play? Oh, what is that? I see.
Yeah, the Taxi Luffy, BY Luffy, the all reliable. Everyone knows what this leader does. This leader is very good. This format, in my opinion, I would even argue it might be the best position deck for 8.5. It's good into Lucci, obviously. I actually think it's pretty good into Dofi.
I'm forced to agree. Our testing has proven not otherwise.
Yeah, like the only bad matchup is Bonnie, but the thing is Bonnie is like very poorly positioned because Dofi and Lucci are so popular right now, to where like you kind of get a field day with this. So yeah, we got our leader. Obviously, we have our 10 Straw Hat Don. These are
Step up Don.
Yeah, must play. And yeah, let's just get right into the deck profile. So I will say, there wasn't a whole lot of thought put into this deck list because this was a deck that we were testing for OP9, not for 8.5. And again, like I said, I kind of forgot about the TC until last minute, so I just kind of registered what I had sleeved up. So just be wary of that.
Again, sorry, I said again, you sleeved up the same one. It's a funny story from last TC, but...
Yeah, so at any rate, we got the four Morias. Like, again, the core of this deck is pretty standard. You know, the four Morias, you gotta play it. I'm playing 8 Searchers. I don't like cutting down on this. I like to be as consistent as possible.
Just the deck is strong as is, so you just want to find your pieces because they're all good.
And then for each of the brothers, so, you know, the 4 Luffys, 4 Rocket Luffys, 4 Punch Luffys. This is probably the most important card in the deck that you almost always want to open with this card. Even against Lucci, it's just putting it down, like you saw in my finals, if you watch the stream, just putting it down. My opponent did not have a way to remove it on their next turn, so I got to just run away with the game on this card. Also, as a tip against Doflamingo, you still want to play it on your 5 and 6 down turn, but do not activate it. The reason for this is that the life that you have, you want to hold that until after they pudding, and then the life remaining in face down is going to be the cards that you're going to be picking up so you can recoup your hand. Then we get the 4 Savos and 4 other Black Sabo. And then for this list, we're playing a small package of the aces, so 3 baby aces, 2 rush ace. Pretty good in this format specifically because Doflamingo has a very hard time dealing with this card. Generally, this is also just better against Lucci. You'll notice that I'm not playing the 4-drop Kuzan in here because it's not good in the mirror match. It's not that good versus Lucci, and I think it's awful versus Doflamingo because they're just gonna bounce it with Law, and then you have a big hand, and then they put in you, and then you're not in a good spot. And then for the 2Ks, of course, you want the 4 Flampeys, the 4 Hioris, and then we go back to playing the 2 Makino as opposed to a couple months ago where a lot of people were cutting this. Again, this is a bit of a concession to Dofi. You want a higher counter density so that you don't get blasted when they get a large board. And
Just more 2Ks lets you get out of the 7 easily.
Yeah, even against, again, because we're not playing the Kuzans, we have a higher counter density in the deck, so against the mirror match and against Lucci, it's just randomly having a little bit more counter, make sure you don't get cheesed out somehow.
Right, if you stabilize into late game, that's where this deck runs away with it.
And then lastly for the text, we have 2 Raigo and 1 Kuzan. Okay, so with Kingdom Come or Raigo, this is what they started doing in OP9, and Mojave could probably explain this better than I can.
Okay, so the biggest thing about OP9 and our OP9 testing has shown that the fastest deck in the format is Dofi, while the other meta decks of the format are a lot slower and play a lot more high-end, and Raigo lets you get away with playing against the high-end decks because it just KOs anything. You can also combo it with the Punch Luffy, where if you're at 2, for example, you can Raigo yourself to 1 and then awaken with the Luffy. And as a 10 Dawn play, you can always Raigo for 6, leader ability for 2, and then still baby Sabo into big Sabo, which leaves you at 1 life with a blocker at a 7k base, which is where the tech is coming from and why they've started to play it a bit more.
That's actually a really good call out for that Tendon play, because doing on Tendon, if you're at 0 life already, Kingdom Come, kill their like their biggest body like a Kaido or a Mori or something, and then going leader ability Sabo tag out Sabo leaves you at 1 health 7k with a blocker. It's very hard to push you down to 0, and then next turn you Moria and you become a 9k leader with 1 health. And once you're in that cycle against most decks, the game's over.
Exactly. Did the Kuzan come up for you? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Any thoughts on that one?
No, absolutely not. This was a blank all day. It's like, in my head, I put it in because I thought I might still need to respect Bonnie. Obviously I didn't play against any Bonnies, so if I were to do this event again, I probably wouldn't play this. I'd maybe play a 3rd Raigo or just like an Ice Age just for the added flexibility when I'm trying to do a Rocket
For the Rocket
Luffy
Luffy? Okay.
Yeah, well, the Raigo did come up. I know I've had a few questions on this on Twitter and on Discord. This did come up a few times. So against a Lucci in round 2, it blew up a Moria, which actually slowed him down enough to where like I could start setting up my Morias. And against Doflamingo, this card ended up coming in really clutch because they dropped the 10 drop draw 4 Kaido, and I did that play where I blew it up, and then I didn't do the Sabo play, but I just donned up my leader, ran over one of their bodies, and all they had left was leader plus Weevil, so I just healed back up to 2 and they couldn't kill me because obviously they don't play like Rush Usopp or anything like that. So
Pocket Rush Usopp Dofi players get on it.
yeah, so they're like, all right, I might as well put you back down to 0. But then after that, I just summoned Moria, and then the game was over. I just started becoming an 9k leader from there on.
Right. You Moria to 7 the first time, and then from there you just go to 9.
Well, yeah, I had the Moria to 9 because I was just not in a position to play around Femur. But then the turn after, I dropped the 2nd Moria, and then I got become 7k with blocker.
Right.
The game was over.
Makes sense. How were your matchups? What did you play against all day?
So round 1 was versus Vegapunk. Then I beat a Lucci. I think I lost a die roll on that one. I don't remember the Vegapunk one. Round 3 was versus Purple Luffy. I won the die roll on that one. Generally against P Luffy, I decide to go 2nd, even despite them maybe playing Magellan here and there. I think just having the extra card is valuable. Like, yeah, they might be playing Magellan, they might be playing Law, but just in general, your even curve is so strong. Round 4 was Calgara, which I beat. Round 5 was the Blue Doflamingo matchup. That was just the one where I told you about the Raigo killing the Kaido, so that was pretty crazy. Round 6 was the mirror. I played 3 mirrors that day, and all of them ended up being really weird. So my first mirror in round 6, neither of us drew a Moria, and I went first. So when I was on my 9-don turn, I'm staring at my hand. I had no Moria, and I'm thinking, oh man, once this guy drops a Moria, because he has 2 more cards in hand than I did, it's the game's over. But then he didn't have a Moria, so somehow it came into my favor. Round 7 was Purple Luffy. I won the die roll again, so I decided to go 2nd. Again, not totally sure if that's completely correct, but it's what's been working for me. Round 8 was another mirror match. That one was crazy. We both went into all 4 of our Morias, and the only reason why I won is because I went 2nd, so I just had that extra card at the end of the day. Round 9 was another mirror, my 3rd mirror. That was the one on stream. That was a really, really crazy game too. And then round 10 was the finals versus Fee on Lucci. And yeah.
Well, regardless, very well done, very well deserved win. Any closing thoughts, comments, concerns?
I don't know about concerns.
Thoughts going into 09? Would you consider this for 09 at all?
Going into 09, this deck is very, 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 very bad into Blackbeard. I think most of the Asian players will probably tell you that.
It did top 8 the event over the weekend, to be fair, but...
But didn't it lose to a Blackbeard?
There were 2 Blackbeards in top 4, so probably.
Yeah, so...
But...
I do feel very confident with this archetype in 09, minus Blackbeard, because I think you actually have a pretty reasonable matchup into Dofi, like I said before, and Lucci, obviously, and Shanks. I think Shanks actually has a very hard time interacting with what you're doing, as long as you're playing around specific things like Gold Roger, for example, if they're playing it.
Right.
But no, that's pretty much it. I'm very excited to be playing this archetype again in 09, maybe, or maybe I'd be playing Shanks. We'll see.
Figure something out.
Like shout outs to my team as always, Mohammed behind the camera, Trevor and Arvind for for playtesting with me for almost over a year, and we finally locked in a first place finish after all this time. So
Indeed, very well earned, and congratulations once again. Time to go celebrate a little bit.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.